Milwaukee. Early 1990s. A city grappling with a wave of disappearances. A haunting silence hung over neighborhoods plagued by uncertainty, but behind one apartment door, a nightmare was unfolding. Welcome to The Apartment Clue, Jeffrey Dahmer, a case that shocked the world and forever altered the course of criminal investigations. Milwaukee's crime landscape had long been turbulent, but nothing prepared the city for the horrors concealed in apartment 213. Behind closed doors, Jeffrey Dahmer lived a life of calculated evil, hiding unspeakable acts beneath an ordinary exterior. In a twist of fate, one courageous individual escaped the clutches of this predator. Blood pounding, heart racing, he flagged down authorities. His bravery triggered a cascade of events that would unravel one of history's most disturbing serial killing sprees. What would you do if you found yourself staring death in the face inside your own home? Today, we dive into the events that lifted the veil on a hidden monster. We'll uncover how missing persons cases, forensic evidence, and ironclad testimonies converge to deliver justice. This is not just a story of crime, it's a story of survival, courage, and the relentless pursuit of truth. Expect a no-holds-barred recount of Dahmer's childhood, twisted upbringing, psychological fractures, and the meticulous investigation that brought him down. We'll explore eyewitness accounts, forensic discoveries, and the relentless detectives who refused to look away. This is Curell Case Files. Subscribe for more gripping investigations into the darkest corners of human behavior. Early life and upbringing. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. From the beginning, the signs were troubling. His parents, Lionel and Joyce Dahmer, had a volatile marriage marked by arguments and instability. His mother suffered from chronic depression and drug dependency, often leaving young Jeffrey feeling isolated and neglected. As a child, Dahmer was described as shy, withdrawn, and curious about the macabre. Fascinated by dead animals, he would collect roadkill and dissect them, a chilling precursor to his later crimes. His father, a chemist, later revealed that Dahmer exhibited signs of necrophilia tendencies at an early age, showing a disturbing interest in the anatomy of living and dead beings. By his teenage years, Dahmer had escalated to drinking alcohol heavily, sometimes smuggling liquor into school. Despite these glaring warning signs, his behavior was largely dismissed by those around him as eccentric rather than dangerous. In 1978, shortly after graduating high school, Dahmer committed his first murder. His victim, Stephen Hicks, was bludgeoned to death after accepting a ride from Dahmer. Instead of this crime being exposed, it went undetected for years, giving Dahmer the chilling confidence to continue. The descent into darkness. Following a brief stint in the U.S. Army, cut short due to his drinking problem, Dahmer's behavior spiraled. By the mid-1980s, he had developed a pattern, frequenting gay bars, luring men back to his residence, drugging them, and committing acts of violence. Milwaukee's marginalized LGBTQ+ community became his hunting ground. Many of Dahmer's victims were young men of color, a factor that tragically contributed to systemic neglect in investigating their disappearances. In 1988, Dahmer was arrested for sexually assaulting a 13-year-old boy. Though convicted, he served only a fraction of his sentence. Upon release, he moved into the now infamous Oxford Apartments at 924 North 25th Street, apartment 213. It became a tomb for his victims. The courageous escape. On July 22, 1991, Tracy Edwards changed everything. Invited to Dahmer's apartment under false pretenses, Edwards quickly sensed something was wrong. Handcuffed and threatened with a knife, he waited for his chance. In a moment of sheer desperation, Edwards fought back, escaping the apartment barefoot and terrified. Flagging down 2 Milwaukee police officers, he led them back to Dahmer's door, a decision that would save countless lives. The investigation unfolds. Upon entering, officers were immediately struck by the rancid stench of decay. They uncovered chilling evidence: photographs of dismembered bodies, severed heads preserved in refrigerators, and barrels filled with acid-dissolved remains. The forensic team meticulously cataloged the scene. Blood spatters, skeletal remains, and chilling trophies confirmed a calculated pattern of murder. Every corner of the apartment revealed a horrifying level of premeditation. Investigators used cutting-edge techniques for the era: DNA matching, bone analysis, and toxicology reports. Each test connected missing persons cases to the grisly discoveries inside apartment 213. Critical evidence breakdown. Key evidence included photographs documenting the stages of dismemberment, human skulls and skeletons arranged meticulously, a blood-stained mattress matching the DNA of several victims, chemical containers filled with body parts intended for grotesque experiments. Forensic anthropologists determined many victims were killed through strangulation, their remains carefully preserved for Dahmer's twisted fantasies. Detectives later revealed that Dahmer had planned to construct an altar from the remains, a shrine to his own obsessions. Dahmer's confession and court proceedings. Confronted with overwhelming evidence, Dahmer cooperated during questioning. He confessed to the murders of 17 young men, providing investigators with chillingly detailed accounts. His confessions were devoid of emotion, recited with eerie detachment. In January 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer stood trial. Pleading guilty but insane, he was convicted of 15 counts of murder and sentenced to 15 consecutive life terms, nearly 1,000 years in prison. Public reaction was explosive. Vigils were held for the victims, while widespread outrage erupted over the systemic failures that allowed Dahmer's reign of terror to continue unchecked. Current situation and legacy. Dahmer's time in prison was short-lived. On November 28, 1994, he was beaten to death by fellow inmate Christopher Scarver at the Columbia Correctional Institution in Portage, Wisconsin. Today, the Oxford Apartments no longer exist. The building was demolished in 1992, leaving behind only vacant land, a symbolic effort to erase the memory of the atrocities committed there. The legacy of Jeffrey Dahmer continues to haunt Milwaukee. His crimes forced sweeping changes in law enforcement protocols, including improved handling of missing persons reports and greater scrutiny of marginalized community cases. The Dahmer case serves as a stark reminder: predators often hide behind the most ordinary of facades. The importance of community vigilance, early intervention, and determined investigation cannot be overstated. Conclusion: Jeffrey Dahmer's story is not merely one of unimaginable horror. It is a testament to survival and the power of justice. Tracy Edwards' bravery saved lives. Milwaukee detectives' relentless pursuit of evidence ensured that evil was exposed and punished. The aftermath of the case brought fundamental changes to policing standards, community awareness, and the collective vigilance needed to protect society. It also forced uncomfortable questions. How many warning signs went ignored? How many lives could have been saved? Subscribe my channel for more gripping, detailed investigations like this. Join Curell Case Files as we continue to shine a light into the darkest corners of human history. In the end, the capture of Jeffrey Dahmer was not just the end of a nightmare. It was a hard-fought victory for truth, resilience, and justice. Never forget, monsters do not look like monsters until it's too late.